But it's sad because just when the bullying was finally starting to stop is when my new problem began. And my new problem was that I developed an extremely severe anxiety disorder that I believe was triggered in part from all the years of being bullied so intensely. And the illness that I developed is known as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. How many of you offhand know what OCD is or have heard of it? Okay. That's good. Just to give you an idea that it's obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive stands for having obsessive, reoccurring, unwanted negative thoughts, that a person feels these thoughts are not really their own thoughts, not really of them. It's not what they really feel, but they keep having these negative, reoccurring thoughts. They're frightful. They're disturbing. They're intrusive. You don't want to be having them. And then you feel, and then it's obsessive compulsive. So then you feel this need to perform some kind of compulsive behavior or ritual or even thinking something over and over and over to make those unwanted thoughts go away. And sometimes it's not even rational. The compulsive behaviors you're doing to make the thoughts go away don't even make sense or aren't rational, but you just feel you have to do it that way. And there's many, many, many different forms of OCD. It's very, very depends on the individual and kind of what the individual cares about, what's most important to them. OCD seems to know how to channel into what matters the most to a person. And I mean, still sometimes today when I tell somebody that I have OCD, the first thing they say is, "Oh, so you wash your hands a lot?" And that's definitely a form of it for many people. And I have had those concerns about germs and washing my hands and stuff. I've certainly experienced that, and flushing the toilet with my foot or with my elbow or using the sink, that sort of thing. But my specialty with OCD that tormented me the most was, incredibly, it was images in my mind of the faces of all the different people who had bullied me the most in my past. Mental images that I would picture in my head of all these people's faces, and especially the face of this Michael character. And along with that, it would be the obsessions about fear of harm happening or of some force making me do harm to people I care about against my will. And an example I can give you that I think everyone in this room can relate to, whether you have OCD or not, is how people say that if you walk on a sidewalk, the rule is don't step on a crack, because step on a crack, you break your mama's back, right? And I guess you kind of have to try to imagine if somebody really, really believed that if they stepped like this on a crack, that something terrible is going to happen tonight to their mother and it would be their fault. That's the kind of OCD that I had. I don't know if any of you have ever had that kind of thinking or can relate to that, but that's sort of what I had. And it would be tied with these images in my mind of the faces of all the people who had bullied me. And the example I can give you guys that hopefully will make sense, it usually does make sense to, when I say this to younger kids at school, so I'm sure you guys will understand, but it would affect my functioning on a daily basis. And these kind of thoughts would be coming all the time. And I could be doing anything. I could be doing something as simple as taking a sip of water, which I'll do right now. And in doing that action, just a normal, mundane part of everyday life, from the moment that the bottle would touch my mouth, like right here, right at that point of contact, I would picture a bully's face being here, or Michael's face. And I wasn't actually, hallucinating or seeing things, but just as the bottle touched my mouth, I'd picture his face being right here, like, miniaturized, really small. And it would suddenly feel like a flashback, like post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Suddenly all the feelings would come flooding back, all the memories would come flooding back of, feeling insecure, feeling intimidated, feeling like this person had power over me, that I tried to stand up to this person, and, I'd stood up to others, but this person wouldn't back down, and I couldn't stand up to them. And all these, all the memories of what he had done would come back, and feeling like a victim would all just come flooding back to me. And then I would feel that this fear that image could make something bad happen. That image has power because that person had power over me. But that image has power. And that if I don't take the bottle and touch it to my mouth again, in the exact same spot, with the exact same amount of force, and then as I touch it, mentally block out or neutralize that image of Michael's face or the bully's face and try to insert like a safe mental image in there. That if I didn't do that, that image would make something happen to my dad tonight. Or would make me, even worse, would make me act out and harm or kill my dad. And it was terrifying for me. I mean, I couldn't, so obviously I did the compulsive behavior because I didn't want that horrible thing to come true, and that was how the OCD would control me, and for so many years I didn't tell anybody about this stuff. I mean, who could you tell if you were having those feelings, you know?